So we're back on to working on the project truck. This is a 96 Dodge 2500. I've had the truck for the last 16 years. It was parted out about 12 years ago, and it's been kind of just sitting in the back. Wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it. The cab is really clean on the truck, so it's kind of a shame to not do something with it, and the frame is in good shape. It's not rusted out or anything. So the truck, it was originally a 5-speed manual transmission truck. The rear axles and front axles are kind of need full rebuilds on this truck. They're pretty much not much good with them anymore, so that's the reason for the axle swaps. The needs new front fenders now. They rusted from sitting. The left hand side more than the right hand side. Just some the truck needs repainted as well, but that's not high on the priority list this year. The interior is in pretty good shape. No cracked dash. Needs new seats. I sold the seats out of it. Put a new carpet in it. We'll fix the interior of the truck up, because I want to daily drive this truck hopefully this winter. The leafs on the truck are actually in good shape, so I'm gonna just go ahead and reuse those leaf springs with the donor rear axle. So yeah, that's good. I'm gonna pull the box off. The box isn't really in the greatest of shape. It's not by any stretch of the imagination terrible to what I've seen some of them, but the plan is to put a flat deck on the truck eventually. I'm probably gonna pull the box off just to do the repairs, so for the added room, as I gotta instead of dropping the fuel tank and stuff, it's much easier to work from the top. So yeah, I'm gonna get the box off, and then I'll probably put it back on later on this summer once the truck gets closer to driving. Then I'll show you the steering knuckle. So this was the steering knuckle that was on the truck when I used to drive it, and as you can see how worn out it is. The caliper would able to slap back and forth, and then also the bolt hole that holds the caliper there's pretty much nothing left of it, so it wasn't really the safest vehicle to drive in the world. There's a bunch of random parts in it. The wiring on the truck, so I gotta pull the harness out of the truck and go through the harness and clean it up, repair any connections or any wires that have faded over the years or corroded. Gonna replace the brake master cylinder. It's all weathered from sitting out without a hood on it. Needs a new clutch. The plastic, this is what happens to plastic when it sits in sunlight for 10 years. And then, yeah, just gonna go through the truck and try and get it running. I need to redo the AC system, new receiver dryer, flush the system, new condenser, new shocks all the way around. I need a new PCM for the truck, or get this one rebuilt. This one, I sold the original one off the truck, and then I took this one back as a core, but I know this one has an internal fault with it, failure with it. The speedo and our tack and a bunch of other stuff weren't working on with this PCM. So you can send them off to get them rebuilt. I have in the past, so I'll probably send that one off. I need a hood for the truck. I should have a bunch of those kicking around. It just might not match the color. Yeah, that's pretty much the truck. So right now it's just sitting on stands. We're working on getting the front axle out of the truck. So it's pretty much undo. Well, I got undo the sway bars, undo the shocks, undo your A arms, or control arms, I guess, and just drop her out. And then I'm probably gonna end up mounting this axle as it sits currently, just because it's easier to work with it on the truck. And then I will swap over my new components as I get them. This also, just looking at this axle, it's also got kind of lucked out, so it's got the T-steering setup for, so your drag link and your the link that goes from your pitman arm to your to this link here, it's set in the T configuration. So the other style is where this link would actually go to your ball joint here, and then this link would attach to this link. So this is, and they call that a Y setup, and they steer a little bit sloppier, I guess. So I lucked out on that. So that's what this truck originally had, was the, what you would call the Y link setup. So this doesn't obviously reach all the way across to connect to your other knuckle. So this would be the Y steering. So this is a little bit better. So I got to replace the steering box and get a pitman arm for the truck to make this setup work. And we're gonna get new steering links for the truck, but I just got to get but at least now I know I got the updated setup, so that's kind of what I want to keep. And then yeah, so that should be getting the truck back on the road. So I'll catch up with you guys once I get the front axle out of this truck and start getting the axle and the other axle in it. Alrighty, so we got the front axle out of the truck and slid off to the side. Got the shocks out of it. I might just put those old shocks in this axle just so I can use them to hold it up instead of putting stands underneath the front axle for now while it sits for a little bit. I definitely do want to get new front shocks for it. Also got the harness out of the truck for the engine, so I can go through that and repair it and get it all good. Next I might tackle the steering box while it's out in the open and get it out of the way, and then remove the shocks on this axle and slide it underneath the truck and get the control arms bolted up and lifted into place. I'll catch back up with you. So we got the axle up under the truck. I got the hubs off on both sides. The wheel bearings got slop in them. Looks like somebody, they must have had this apart not too long ago when they had the truck and put new rotors on it, because these rotors are not very worn. I'm still going to replace them just because I got to do new wheel bearings. To do these ones, you got to press out these studs. That's what holds the rotor on. And then I'm going to do new U-joints on the axle shafts here. I got everything all cleaned up and just anti-seized for now. I got all the hardware in place. I just left everything loose just because I do plan on swapping out these control arms. But for now, I'm just they're in there just to hold the axle in place. Same with the one link there, the stabilizer bar. And yeah, so she's all in place and we're ready to continue on with the project.